Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., and Dontrell Willis. The Dodgers lose back-to-back games for the first time this year. They let a 3-1 lead get away last night, a 3-0 lead today. Ryan Ward, very memorable, great Major League debut for him. But Blake Trinan could not record an out in the 7th inning. Edwin Diaz could not record an out in the 8th inning. Jerry, that was just too much of a mountain for the Dodgers offense to climb in the 9th.
Yeah, you surrender 9 runs. I mean, it's going to be hard to win a big league ball game. I know the Dodgers gave themselves an opportunity, a chance in that 9th inning to at least tie the ball game up. It just wasn't the Dodgers' day.
You give up 15 hits on the road, often you're going to lose that ball game also. That's too much traffic. Not enough clean innings. There was only one clean inning. That was from Roki in the 1st inning. So if you're thinking about giving the opposition inning after inning chances to score, you're going to lose that ball game.
Dodgers were up 4-3 after the 6th inning. Then we go to the 7th, and the Rockies got 3 in the 7th. They got 3 more in the 8th. So the Dodgers were down 5, Dontrell, going into that 9th inning. They made it interesting, at least offensively. They got the tying run to the plate in this 9th inning, had some chances.
Well, you like to see this offense do this from the 1st inning on, but I think they bear down and really focus. Love that Shohei's being able to hit line to line, and you kind of wish he got a chance to hit in the 8th inning with bases loaded, but we'll talk about that later in the show. But this is what the lineup can do. They can grind you down. They can get themselves in hitter-friendly counts. They didn't chase out of the zone. It's almost like they refocused because their backs were against the wall. But this is what we talked about. We've seen from this offense where there's lows of inning after inning in the middle parts of the game to allow the opposition to chip away and fight back. But I love the way that they were taking the hits where they come. Max Muncy hustling out of that box, smelling that hit because there's a line drive in the book. Andy Paez having a really good at-bat, forcing their closer to throw pitches and load the bases. Even Dalton Rushing coming up here and situationally barreling a baseball, forcing the defense to play clean. He messed up that play. That was a double play ball, but the ball was hit so hard he had to bobble it. One more step, it's a base hit, and really bases loaded. But this is the type of focus that I want to see from this offense inning after inning, because they can do this against anybody in baseball.
And I love that they did have that fight in that 9th inning, giving themselves a chance, led by Shohei Ohtani with that leadoff double here. It gets in on him a little bit. Outstanding play here to end the ball game. But it's unfortunate. You know, we talk about coming into Colorado. You want to be able to put pressure on the Colorado Rockies each and every inning.
Right.
And you're right, D-Train, they focus in the 9th inning, and we would love to see that focus, if possible, in the middle of the inning. So, once again, on the flip side, you can't surrender 9 runs. You just can't and expect to win a ball game. Dodgers, the bullpen has been outstanding this year. It just didn't happen for them today in Colorado.
Roki Sasaki starts this game for the Dodgers, D-Train, and he looked good through the first 3 innings, very efficient, only 8 pitches, then 11 pitches, 7 pitches to get through the first 3, but then he seemed to get taxed a little bit in the 4th and didn't make it through the 5th.
Something we saw, especially me and you watching the ball game, is the focus of throwing the fastball down in the zone. He really didn't have command of the split finger or the slider the first time through, but he was throwing with conviction down in the zone, forcing the Rockies to put the ball in play. A ton of soft contact, which we haven't seen a lot from Roki, not only in spring training, but in the regular season. So I felt like his mound presence was good. He was staying in the heart of the plate, and when you have confidence with that fastball, you really are able to open up everything. But then all of a sudden, as the 2nd time coming around, and we've seen this movie before, he was throwing them into hitter-friendly counts. Ball 1, ball 2, 3-1 counts. All of a sudden, now you have to go across the plate. It allows the Rocky hitters to start eliminating pitches. And a couple times you saw from Roki, he started to land that slider, especially against the right-handed batter. But I just felt like the game sped up on him again. You saw ball 5, ball 6, and all of a sudden traffic, and then now you have a blast. And they were allowing the team to really chip away and fight back. But you see, again, you see some positivity, you see some growth, but then you see some things where it's like, that's not going to be acceptable in the big league level.
The first 3 innings, he really was on cruise control. That was really good to see. I was like, man, he is efficient. He's attacking the strike zone. D-Train, you mentioned, down in the zone. You live low, you're going to live long.
Yeah.
But in that 4th inning, he got hit a little bit, and then now, all of a sudden, he went from 0 to 100 quickly. And that 5th inning, obviously, he wasn't unable to get out of the inning. It just, he has to understand that being a big league pitcher here, he misses his spot. Credit Karros. able to stay inside the baseball and drive it over the wall for a home run.
But he fell behind. See, that's
he fell behind because you could sell out on a fastball when you know you're ahead in the count. And here it is, soft contact. It finds a hit here for a double, but he's got to be able to pitch ahead like he was early in the ball game. And if he does get hit, your job as a starting pitcher is what? Limit the damage.
Right.
It's the big leagues. Right. You're going to give up some runs.
And Doc
it's
was
about
trying.
Limiting the damage.
Doc was trying to get him through the fifth. He was trying. I felt like he could have got him a couple batters earlier, but he wanted for a confidence boost for him because he earned that right in that ball game to get him through the fifth, because managers go out by out, inning by inning. And so that's a totally different situation for the bullpen if they come into the ball game with the clean inning from the fifth inning on. You can deploy some of your high leverage guys, but because he wasn't able to, all of a sudden you have to deploy more people than you wanted to, and you end up losing the ball game.
And you deploy Alex Vestia earlier in the ball just to get out of that fifth inning. So it's difficult for managers trying to navigate when you're starting pitching is not getting you deep in the ball game.
Once again, a mixed bag for Roki Sasaki. Let's go back to Coors Field and hear from Roki speaking with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Roki, first time through the order, you were very efficient. It seemed like the stuff was in a really good spot. Considering how aggressive this team is, what adjustments did you see them make second time through the order?
今回すごくいい球いってたと思うんですけれども、相手チームもかなりアグレッシブに打ってきた中で、2巡目以降どんな調整というか、してきましたか。
そうですね、1巡目早いカウントで打ってもらったので、基本的にはまっすぐ多くなって、そこで打ってもらって、初球のまっすぐ打ってもらって、そこから2巡目は、変化球を入れながら、ほとんどフォークボールでしたけど、こういいとこに行ったり、抜けたり、そんな感じでした。
Yeah, first time through the order, they really aggressive. They swing really early in the count, but second time through, I kind of mix in my off-speed pitches.
Did you find you changed your game plan to them, or do you think they changed their game plan to you?
今日のその配球というかゲームプランは、ロッキーが変えたのか、それとも相手が途中で変えてきたのか、どちらという、ロッキーズの方ですね。ロッキーからゲームプランを変えていったのか。
ここから特に変えたいですけど、試合前のミーティング通りに、投げました。
Yeah, I actually didn't, change any game plan, but I think they were just making an adjustment.
Do you feel like you've been able to keep making strides, or do you feel like you're kind of been at the same spot for the last couple starts here, overall, production-wise?
Do
you feel like you've been able to make strides as the season's gone along, or do you feel like you've been kind of in the same place for the last few starts here?
同じような感じで今までと投げることができるのか、それともちょっと調整をしていくのかという。
ずっと調整はしてるので、ただ1週間の中でどれだけ変えれるかっていうのを限られた期間の中でもありますし、ただ長期的な視点と、次の登板ですぐできること、そこを2つを分けて調整するようにはしてます。
Yeah, I try to make adjustment all the time, and then in the long run, and then I have to do the things I need to work on, but at the same time, there are also the things you need to work on different. So. Yeah, I'm just keep making adjustment in the long term.
All right, Sunday afternoon crossed a diving catch to end the day. Dodgers fall 9-6. They are now 15-6 on the season. Blake Trinan is tagged with the loss. Roki Sasaki goes 4 2/3 innings, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, had 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Ryan Ward 2 for 5 in his major league debut with a run batted in. Alex Freeland goes 2 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in. Here's what's coming up on the calendar. The final game of this 4-game wraparound series is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Then it's off to San Francisco to face the rival Giants for the first time this year. Thursday's game on getaway day, a 12:30 p.m. start time. Friday, the Dodgers back home to take on the Cubs, with Saturday being Roki Sasaki bobblehead night. Friday and Saturday on national TV only. All others right here on Sportsnet LA. Despite the loss, it was a day that's Ryan Ward will never forget. A couple of hits and RBI in his major league debut. We have plenty of reaction coming up from Colorado. Access or day. If the Dodgers pitchers strike out at least 7 batters, everyone will get a free Jumbo Jack the following day at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. This is only at LA area locations. Unfortunately, the Dodgers only managed 5 strikeouts today, but there's another chance coming up tomorrow when Justin Robleski starts against the Rockies. Let's go back to Colorado. Dave Roberts right now with Kirsten in the media.
Dave, with starting with the bullpen, with Blake Trinan tonight as well as Edwin Diaz, what were you seeing from those guys?
You know, I think that, you know, they just both weren't sharp. You know, I felt we were in a good position to, you know, use Blake and have Tanner behind him. And, you know, he just wasn't sharp and couldn't get anybody out today. Just didn't seem like the slider had much impact. And then with Edwin, just didn't have any command, and you know the velocity was down, and you know obviously not a safe situation. There might have been some adrenaline that or lack thereof that played into it, but yeah, you know I thought you know Roki did a nice job as far as getting outs early and being efficient, and then you know in that 5th inning it started to get stressful, and I just felt we needed to you know try to keep him at bay, and that's why we went to Vesey there.
For Edwin, we haven't seen him pitch in about a week now, and I know at that time it was more kind of concern to the knee, but you guys did the test and he's in the clear. Do you look at today as maybe just kind of some rust because it's been a week, or is there anything that stood out to you just in regard to those misses?
That's a good question. Obviously, he hasn't pitched in 8 days, so I'm certain there's some rust to that. Again, the non-safe situation, but you know talking to him today, he wanted to pitch regardless, and so I think it's just one of those things that hopefully it's you know one of those things that he just hadn't pitched in a while.
Especially that he is pushed past some of the stuff he's been working through at this point.
You know, I think for us it's just going on what the training staff and the player tells me. You know, you got to trust him and believe that they feel good, and a veteran player like him, and no one should know his body better than he does. But obviously today it just didn't look sharp.
To trust, especially when you see like a 93 up there at one point, or kind of how do you evaluate what you saw today, given those like caveats?
Today was a tough evaluation. I mean, it really was, because you know I know what it's supposed to look like, and you know, and then when it doesn't look like that, it gets a little concerning, really. And so I'll have a conversation with them. I know our training staff and pitching guys will, and make sure that there is nothing to it, because you know. The radar gun has been consistent, and his velocity has been consistent, and it wasn't there today. So we got to I got to know more. Yeah.
Did he say after the outing?
Shohei Ohtani extended his on-base streak to 51 games, making a chase at franchise history. We'll have more on Access and preview the series finale in Colorado tomorrow. Dodgers wrap up the series in Colorado on Monday. Justin Robleski will get the start, coming off the best outing of his young career last time out against the Mets. 8 shutout innings on just 2 hits, couple strikeouts. He'll try to back that up against the Rockies D-Train. What does he need to do to build on that success?
Go deep in the ball game, especially. They had to deploy a lot of guys out of the bullpen today, and so we want to see some length from him. I believe he's going to have the same type of start where he's going to be very aggressive in the zone. Also, that fastball velocity plays on both sides of the plate and that nasty breaking ball to get some soft contact.
He is a confident young man, and he has not been fazed by the big leagues. We know what he's done in the postseason World Series. Attack that strike zone, no free passes. Outstanding job against the Rangers, and hopefully he does the same thing against the Rock Show.
Dodgers did a great job Friday nights in the cold, Jerry, but the last couple of days have been clunkers.
Yeah, hopefully the Dodgers find their bats. I have a feeling they're going to even up the series tomorrow.
All right, for Jerry, Dontrell, and Kirsten, I am John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow pregame at 4:30 here on Sportsnet LA.
Thank you, John. It is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in Denver, Colorado. Temperatures in the 70s, but it's not a getaway day. It's a 4-game wraparound series, so this is game 3 of the set, and the Dodgers and Rockies have split the first 2. On Friday night, Tyler Glasnow was sensational in his first start at Coors, and the Dodger bats were hot in freezing temperatures, winning 7-1. But the Rockies came from behind in game 2. Troy Johnston with the big night. A couple of extra base hits, including a 2-run double that helped Colorado take the second game. So with that, Let's say hello from the broadcast booth, shall we? Next to the Bulldog Ora Hershiser, I'm Steven Nelson. Kirsten Watson is down on the field. But the Dodgers, with a loss, they have not had back-to-back losses all year.
Yeah, you know what? Hitting with runners in scoring position would help. That was 0 for 7 yesterday and would help a little bit to get off to a fast start on the mound.
And so Roki Sasaki is going to try and do just that in his first ever turn here in Denver.
Well, throwing strikes is going to be the key. Eliminate the walk. Stay away from the home run ball. He is going against the team in Colorado that will chase, but he can get them chase early, get them to chase the second time around the order is going to be the key, because that's when they start to eliminate pitches.
Sasaki's first start in Denver. Ryan Ward's first start ever in the major leagues. Kirsten Watson, share more, please.
Yeah, Stephen. So this morning we had a big roster move. Freddie Freeman was placed on the paternity list as he and his wife Chelsea prepared to welcome their 4th child. And that means that Ryan Ward is going to be making his major league debut after 7 seasons in the minors and some really excellent numbers, especially last year in which he had 36 home runs, leading the minors, was named the PCL MVP. His time has finally come. And even Dave Roberts shared that they were considering having Dalton Rushing playing at first base today. But with Ryan making his major league debut, they decided that he has earned the opportunity to get the start at first base this evening, guys.
And he'll bat 7th in the Dodger lineup. Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, and Will Smith, the first.
What a perfect day it is in Denver, Colorado, about 70 degrees and sunny. And Ryan Ward, he will always remember this day. Jerry, 28 years of age, about to make his major league debut.
Absolutely. Listen, the nerves are going to be a thing. There's nothing wrong to be nervous. Expect those nerves, but go out there and do your thing. This kid has earned the right to be a big leaguer. Enjoy this day.
He got the Randy Savage shades, though. He got some swagger out there. Bring that AAA swagger to the big leagues. Seize the opportunity. If you get something middle in, turn and burn.
So he's filling in for Freddie Freeman, who goes on the paternity list. The Dodgers offense in those road blues, they've only worn them twice so far this year. They scored 13 runs in Washington, D.C., 14 in Toronto. Jerry, hopefully more of the same as they put those unis on today in Colorado. It's a great place to hit, and the Dodgers trying to bounce back after getting shut out for the final 7 innings last night.
Did you say 13, then 14? Well, natural progression is 15. So let's go out there and do your thing. We always talk about scoring at least 7 runs there at Coors Field, because obviously it's hitter-friendly. Dodgers need to do that. 7 runs, 12 hits. We expect that today.
I'm not going to lie. I really like those road blue uniforms, man. They really stuck with me. But the bottom line is what Jay Harris said. This offense, no matter who's in the lineup and who's out, they have a level of experience and expectations, and that, man, is the centerpiece. He can win a ball game by himself. Come on, Shohei. Help out your boy D-Train.
D-Train's called shot today is Mr. Shohei Ohtani. A 50-game on-base streak. Will be leading it off against the Rock Show on an absolutely crystal clear, perfect day for baseball in the Mile High City. Stephen and Nora with the call next.